Hi, I'm Charles, and today we are going to talk about the English IB. For the English IB, you must read a wide variety of texts, from normal books to plays to music albums to graphic visual novels and poems. For me, I have read books such as 1984 and Pride and Prejudice, helping increase my knowledge of texts, and through analysis in class, you can learn about certain global issues which are apparent in the book's different times and places, and in the real world to this day. Some books are in translation from different languages, such as We by Yevgeny Zamyatin. It is important to read the texts, since looking at summaries does not give adequate depth. Now off to Daniel to talk about the IO and the practice exams.
So, differently to GCSE and IB English, we have three different assessments we have to do. Because the version of English that you take in IB is only English literature, your paper one is going to be your typical unseen that you have in GCSE, where you're given two of three different options: a poem, prose fiction, prose nonfiction, and you're given an extract from both, and you have to do a literary analysis give based on the question you were given. Paper two is your comparison and contrast, where you will be given a question or global issue, and you have to take two texts that you have read and compare them and see if there's any differences in the portrayal of the global issue or question. And last, you will have your internal assessment, which is called your IO, internal oral. And simply put, you have to choose a global issue that you want to talk about, choose what two texts you want to use to talk about this idea. You have to choose extracts from those texts and prepare a 10-minute vocal essay that you give to your teacher, and they will give you 5 minutes of follow-up questions that you will have to answer on the spot, and that's sent off to IB. Now on to your MES for higher level.
Hi, I'm Jeremias, and I'm going to talk about higher level English. The main difference between higher level and standard level is the amount of reading you have to do, as there are more texts which are covered in the course. There is also a higher level essay component, which one must do, which is a literary analysis into one of the texts you have covered. This is similar to an IA in the sense that you complete it outside of class with some guidance from your teacher, and then it is further submitted to IB. Uh, Higher level students have to also do the paper 2, paper 1, and individual oral. It is also important to note that you can only use the same text once in any component of the English course, whether that be the higher level essay, IO, or paper 2. If you use the same text more than once, then your grade will be uh, discounted, or it will be disqualified, sorry. Unlike other subjects, the main difference between the levels, higher level and standard level, is the amount of work you do, rather than the difficulty of the content itself. I have especially enjoyed the English course, as the texts we have covered have been quite fun to analyze, and this is something that really increased my enjoyment from English from GCSE, as in GCSE you only really did one text, and it happened to be one that I didn't really find too interesting. In IB, I have especially enjoyed George Orwell's 1984, Zamyatin Yevgeny's We, and while I was in standard level for a little bit, I enjoyed analyzing Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly album, and I found it was really cool to look deep into the lyrics of a rap song and find about the same level of literary meaning as a traditional novel. Thank you for listening to this episode on IB English.